Do you want to do the intro, Cam, or do you want me to figure something
out? Thanks. Sure.
I was just throwing it on you. I'm just saying, you could do it.
No. I greatly appreciate being handed doing the intro to the Sonny Chiba fucks the psychic wolf lady, but also his wife mom, and then fights the Japanese government while also solving crime movie. I can certainly just give me like 5 seconds. I'll think of something. No problem.
We don't have to lay it all out there at the intro. Like, come on.
Who said that welcome to Rough Cuts. I think that's it. There we go.
Dogs. They're coming. They're coming your way. They'll be here soon.
Welcome to Rough Cuts, everybody. I'm Boyks. I'm here with my co-host, Ilyon.
Yeah, hi.
We also have a special guest for this episode, the one, the only, Slowbeef.
Hey, how's it going?
Welcome.
How's it going?
Good. How is it going, Slowbeef? How did you enjoy the movie?
This is my first experience, the podcast, too. I'll throw out.
Yeah, so I wanted to get you a film that was going to show some kung fu and some cool Japanese, like sci-fi stuff, and it had all that, but
yeah, that stuff.
Yeah, it had a little more though.
Look, it's better than being boring. I maybe. I don't know if that's true, really, but yeah, it was.
Absolutely.
No, it's better than being boring.
Yeah,
I can tell you.
Yeah, we had Urchin on for Garfield, and that was rough. Oh. That was awful.
Not even Garfield 1, that was Garfield 2.
The sequel, yeah. So anyway, Wolf Guy, it's a toy film, that's TOEI, from mid-70s. It's an exploitation movie that recently got re-released through Arrow Video outside of Japan. And they did a full new transfer for it with beautiful... actually, it's a really good-looking transfer as far as like video quality and audio goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily want to watch everything that's on that screen, but they did a good job, I guess.
It's like a technical achievement, we could say.
Yeah, Wolf Guy is apparently a manga from like the either late 60s or early 70s. That is about a werewolf who solves crime or something, and there's no perverted stuff that happens.
Just that, yeah, just a regular old wolf guy going around solving crime.
It's like you see it, and I heard it was a kind of exploitation movie, so I was expecting a typical grindhouse kind of stuff, and it is, except when it's not.
Yeah,
that's in there. All the stuff you're kind of expecting from that sort of movie, but there's more, it turns out. There's more.
They didn't skimp on the 70s gore. There's a lot of gore in this movie. So the grindhouse gore is there, and the blood splatters, and like the fountains of blood coming out. But
the nudity's there too, but again,
there's a lot of nudity.
You might not want to watch it in context.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. I mean, so the plot's really confusing, but I guess we can start talking about what happens in Wolf Guy. So the movie opens up with Wolf Guy. He's driving his car.
Explain the plot of Wolf Guy for us, please. I would listen. I'm taking notes. I need to know. If you can just explain it to me. That'd be
I have
very
a page
helpful.
of notes right here. I have a page, one whole page of notes.
I made a joke during it that I was like, "What's more complicated, like Metal Gear Solid, Kingdom Hearts, or Wolf Guy?" Because it's like
it might be Wolf Guy. Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know.
Wolf Guy dense.
It's a web of things that happen to Wolf Guy.
There's plot threads, and there's like they even kind of fake you out because like toward the end they're like, well, I'm sure that worked out, and like kind of epilogue stuff where you're like, oh, they're not even going to show us, haha, but then they actually do come back to it, and it's like,
Yeah.
Well, the way that they loop back to it is probably the wildest plot point of the movie too. Like, because when he escapes, you're like, oh, okay, maybe it's just over here, right? He just leaves the compound and he's done, and then it takes a whole turn at that point.
yeah.
But yeah, Wolf Guy's just driving down the street of Tokyo, and there's some guy running through the streets yelling for help. So Wolf Guy gets out of his car in his fine Columbo, coat.
Yeah.
Yeah, his trench coat and
his schlubby car, and he's like, "Hey, guy yelling, are you okay?" And he's like, "The tiger's going to kill me. The tiger. There's a tiger on the loose." Okay. And then Wolf Guy just lets him go for some reason, I guess.
Right. And the guy dies bloodily. He's just shredded by something. We don't really know what happened. But the cops kind of opine, well, you were the last guy. You were holding his body in your arms, so you're a suspect. So now Wolf Guy's got to clear his name.
Yeah.
We do get a glimpse of what the killer might be as Sonny Chiba, legendary Japanese martial artist and actor, looks at the camera as he's holding the guy's body and sees the astral projection of a tiger, like JPEG GIF kind of thing, just float away.
There's a superimposed ghost tiger over the scene.
Yeah. It's real bad. It's real confusing.
And I guess it's important to note that the man that died had claw marks just ripped through his body. And the only other person who can make claw marks like that is Wolf Guy. So, like, the cops have a good reason to suspect Wolf Guy clawing this man to death, because Wolf Guy claws people to death.
Right.
So,
that's not established yet, so I was confused. But it makes more sense than just, you know what? Wolf Guy. Wolf Guy's got this, like, sleazy reporter friend, but he's also a reporter, so I was a little unclear on that. And he was like, we're gonna help you out here, and we're gonna go on the trail of the tiger person who might have killed her, because I think he gets the name Mickey too, right? Because the person's like, it's Mickey.
Yeah.
Mickey.
Yes. Yeah.
They got that name because there's these band members that have been dying, and that guy that died was part of the Mob band, which is not the Mob. They're just a band called Mob.
Yeah, that was really helping with the confusing part of it, because the Mob is after them, but also it's not
after them.
The Mob. They are Mob the band. So they constantly are like, oh, there's these guys in the Mob, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, like the Yakuza members, and it's like, no, the band, and you're like, what the fucking hell?
Later you'll see a note that's like, kill all mobs. So you're like, does that mean the Yakuza? Like, is it just like, but it's like, no, it's all the members of the mobs, the band.
The band, not the Mob. That's a different thing.
This is not the most flabbergasting thing about Wolf Guy.
No, we're really burying the lead on these.
Yeah.
Well, him and his friend Arai go on a trip to go track down this guy that was part of the band, and they find him in an alley drinking. And they're like, "Hey, guy, we're gonna rough you up till you tell us about Miki." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, we were paid by someone as a band to have a concert and like keep playing the drums while we did horrible things to her. And she has a venereal she has syphilis, by the way."
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
What?
There's gonna be some content warnings on this one, by the way.
Yeah.
But okay,
it's exploitation.
Grindhouse, right? Yeah.
Then the Yakuza show up because they're going after the band member to shut him up so he doesn't talk to anybody. Like, I don't know, Wolf Guy.
Right.
Just throwing names out there. And Wolf Guy starts beating up the Yakuza, and then he looks up at the sky. He's like, "Ah, fuck! It's only a quarter moon. I'm nowhere near as strong as an enraged Lycanthrope should be at this point in time. Oh god, the Yakuza's gonna get me.
He's only a mildly irritated werewolf at this
wolf
point.
guy.
Yeah. So he like runs away from the Yakuza, and as he's running down the street, this like biker rides up, this biker chick, and she's like,
Yeah.
"Hey, I ride a motorcycle. Get on." Okay.
Yeah, I see nothing. I don't see why anybody has a problem with this plot being confusing. See, we just start in media res, where he just sees a guy dying through a psychic tiger attack in the middle of the street, and then the Yakuza come after him and he jumps on a motorcycle. It clearly explains who all these people are and what their roles are immediately. This definitely didn't happen the first 3 minutes of the movie. Oh, also, we forgot the opening credits scene, which is
Oh
we
yeah.
thought was unimportant to the plot, but comes important later. The movie starts also. Oh god, there's a credit sequence after the psychic tiger attack where we find out that it's him because it like zooms into the little boy's eyes. There's a little boy in a village, and the village has been massacred, and he's giving his mom a nice pet like she's a cat, and it zooms in on his eyes, and then it zooms out, and it's Sonny Chiba. So they're saying, I guess, that they're the same person.
Yeah,
Backstory.
they're saying Wolf Guy's village died to the military or something. Sure. So anyway, biker lady drives him back to her place, and he's like, "Hey, thanks for saving me, but I'm like bleeding from this wound in my chest, and I really need, medical attention."
Right.
But she's really into werewolves.
Yeah, because she's like, "Look, we got to bang right now. Let's go, you and me." And then
And he's like, "But I have a bullet wound there."
he's like, "I guess I owe you one for driving me off. So yeah, sure, I'll
Yeah.
throw you one. I'm Wolf Guy,
Yeah, and it like hard cuts to, I think she bought him a steak dinner at a restaurant or something.
Yeah.
Afterwards. That was
after
weird.
the sex scene, right? And then he's just eating it, and he like flicks away like the vegetables and stuff, I guess, to be like more man. But he's still eating with like a fork, and it's like maybe a little rare. But I'm not really seeing Wolf out of this, if I'm just being honest here.
No. I do want to mention really quickly. I do want to mention really quickly. You're saying like, oh, well, he's having to mention to her the bullet wound that she has, and like, oh, like, well, I am wounded.
That he has.
No, she knows. She knows because the first thing that she does to come on to him is grab his hand. He shows her that he's bleeding. Like she takes him to her room, and then he like pulls his hand out from where he's been holding his bullet wound closed and shows her that he's full of blood. And she unzips her leather motorcycle outfit where she's totally naked underneath, of course, and grabs his bloody hand and starts licking all of his blood off. It's just the way this movie goes.
This is still not the grossest thing in it.
No, it's not.
No.
It's pretty gross, but
Yeah.
But anyway, he orders this like almost well done steak that she paid for or whatever, and he's at this restaurant, and his reporter buddy Arai shows up with a booklet of notes, and he's like, "Hey, Wolf Guy, I got all these notes about Miki. All the other band members are dead except for this one, and I also know where Miki is, but I'm not going to tell you, I guess. Anyway, I want out." What? Wolf Guy's like, "Okay, but only if you tell me where Miki is first, and then you can get out." Okay. So he's like, "Oh, by the way, Wolf Guy, yeah, she's been like going between all the second-rate seedy strip clubs of Tokyo. So just like go to every one of them and just sit down and just have a good time. You'll find her eventually." I don't know.
This will work out. It's
You couldn't find anything better, my dude? Really?
No, it's okay. That's enough of a tip. I can go to every second-rate strip club, says Wolf Guy. I have
Yeah, well,
no
if I
problem
have
with this
to,
problem.
yeah.
yeah.
Oh
Fine
god!
by
Oh
me.
no, the worst assignment. Oh.
And they say second rate, but I don't know. It's a nice strip club.
It was
there's
a
a lady,
classy place for the most part. Yeah, like for what it
kimono,
is,
and she strips, and we get like our hey, here's some nudity scene, and then Mickey's introduced in the strip club, and she's like reading like I guess like open mic poetry, and You know, because I was kind of like, is this something from
It's
stripper?
like
But
a
like,
poetry slam, yeah.
yeah. And then like all the audience members in unison are like, hey, this isn't what we signed up for. But I mean, like they're all listening, and then all of a sudden, at one point, they're like, boo! Like they're just remembered, like, oh yeah, we should really not be here for poetry. We're a second-rate strip club, you know. But
Hey, wait a minute.
They also
Yeah.
all planned ahead. They kind of knew. I mean, they're saying that Mickey has been in these strip clubs for a while, so I'm guessing that this is a regular thing because they all came prepared. They have like their tomatoes and newspapers to throw at her on hand in the strip club.
they throw newspaper at her, which I'm like, why would you bring
Like-
newspapers to a strip club?
I mean, maybe they sell them at the strip club. You don't know, you know.
I guess just like, hey, if you're a little bored, you know, and you're waiting, like we got some time between strippers,
Like-
and you know, might as well catch up on local politics and
Hey,
whatnot.
could you do this routine later? I'm in the funny pages. I need to look at the comics real quick. This is like,
Oh, Marmaduke.
oh my god.
Hey, I listen. I just watched Wolf Guy. I have seen worse turnoffs before a sex scene than the news.
my God.
So yeah, Mickey
yeah.
does her slam poetry and then goes back to the like back room, and Wolf Guy's there somehow. He's just there, and he starts beating up all. I don't know who that guy is. Like the guy that runs the strip club, I guess.
Yeah, and
He just beats him up.
yeah, doesn't he like take a? Oh, and he like takes a coin that's like in his like glass of scotch or something, right? Isn't that a thing that happens too?
Yeah,
he
he throws a
throws a
coin
coin in,
into
yeah.
the glass of scotch, and then he takes it back because listen, like you said at the time. I mean, he's got to afford those steak dinners somehow.
Yeah, it's like it comes across really weird. Just like, you know, like Wolf Guy knows how to save a buck. So I don't really know what the actual. Well, it comes up a little later. I still don't think that scene was totally necessary to telegraph the significance of the coins, but we'll say.
Yeah, just keep your spare change away from Wolf Guy. That's what's important
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, exactly.
So Wolf Guy interrogates Miki behind the stage, and she's like, "Yeah, I do a lot of drugs or whatever. Can you get me some?" He's like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, let's go."
I'm a junkie. I need a fix. Help me out here. You know.
Yeah. So Wolf Guy drives her to the pachinko parlor. He's like, "Yeah, go get some drugs. Here's some money. Enjoy it."
Yeah. Not the least responsible thing Wolf Guy will be doing in this.
No.
Honestly, but Wolf Guy.
This was his plan to meet the Yakuza, I guess? Like,
I guess.
the only thing I can think of is this was his plan, because of course she immediately turns on him, because she's never met him before. She has no
Right.
allegiance to him, no reason to not just sell him out. And
Yeah.
so she goes in there with all of his money, because he gives her like a fistful of bills. Like,
It's a wad of notes. Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot of money. I mean, it seems like it. She goes in there and she's begging them to give her something, and he goes, "Ah, did you lead someone here?" And she goes, "Yeah, he's in a car outside. I don't know, he's some wolf guy." They go, "Okay,
Yeah.
let's bring him in." And all the Yakuza grab him and bring him into the basement so that they can murder him, I guess.
Like interrogate him, then kill him, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And this
But-
is where the significance of the coin comes up for the first and only time in the movie.
Did you know that werewolves can throw coins like shuriken, basically? And like, yeah.
I
they
didn't
can.
actually. You know,
Well,
this is some real interesting werewolf lore.
He
Yeah.
has a pocket full of coins too. He just keeps throwing them one at a time.
I guess like, so you might hear me say that and say, "Oh, that sounds cool from like a gore perspective," but it doesn't even like kill them like that. It just hits them and like kind of knocks them down, you know, because they're kind of admitting like, "Yeah, right, you wouldn't be able to penetrate skin with the coins," so you know. But it's just like, oh, this movie kind of stinks then, whatever. So
It
that
doesn't
works
even
for a
seem
bit.
like it knocks half of them down. Like, most of the time they're just like, "Ah, God, what is that? A coin?" Like,
God, is he throwing coins again? What the shit?
Here's a demonstration what happens if you mess with the mob. Like we knew.
What? He's throwing coins! Oh shit!
What the? Huh? Wait.
you know, like a wolf does.
I was gonna say, is that like, what did I miss in like the zoo?
You've never seen Japanese wolves, obviously.
Right. It gets even weirder, right? Because like
Mm-hmm.
He's winning the fight, I guess, and then they're just kind of like, hey, wait a sec, we got your friend here,
Yeah,
and
but by the way, we abducted your friend. Oh, okay.
yeah. And
Anyways,
then, right, yeah. And then, like, it's really odd because they're going to knock him out, right? But what they do is they go to, I guess they give him a cigarette or he's like, got a light. And he points to one guy with like a finger, like, hey, you got a light, pal? And then they like kind of point in another direction. And the other guy has a lighter for him. And then when he turns to get the cigarette lit by the other guy, they hit him with a baseball bat from the original direction. And it's like this, like, weird, like, how did they coordinate that? That's so odd. But all right,
they've practiced the you got a light routine over and over again just for this situation. You never know. Someone's gonna ask for a light and you got to hit them on the back of the head.
These are highly trained Yakuza. Come on. Listen, they've spent a lot of time thinking about this.
So
but
they
just hit him
didn't
with the bat then. Like, you know what I mean?
just hit him with the bat. Yeah, well,
like...
they did inject Miki with some drugs right before this, and as Wolf Guy's fighting, one of the Yakuza pulls a gun on him, but then they also abducted the drunk guy from earlier from the band, and he starts just going wild and yelling. So Wolf Guy punches the Yakuza guy, takes his gun, and starts doing, fighting stuff. But the spectral tiger, the ghost tiger, has showed up again and attacks the drunk guy, killing him.
Even he's like surprised. He's Wolf Guy. I thought he'd be in the know.
Ah! And all the Yakuza are like, whoa, that Wolf Guy's got a ghost tiger.
Yeah. But
canonically, the ghost tiger shows up because, to quickly explain this, they kind of mention it in the meantime, Miki has a curse because of her syphilis.
yeah.
Which is the hatred of humanity, which was the real syphilis, which
They
also gives her the power of psychic ghost tigers.
Yeah, they actually say at one point, like, hatred of humans is even worse than syphilis, which is like,
Yes,
that's a line. Wow.
Well, and not only that, Sonny Chiba goes, oh, like, I caught the worst disease from her, an even worse one than syphilis.
Yeah.
Hatred of humans. As he looks out, like, over the distant landscape as he's doing it.
He put his hand on the wall, too. Like, what the...
Yeah. Yeah, he's doing a big dramatic moment about her syphilis tiger.
What?
Is that when they see the line "death to mobs," or is that later?
Yeah, I think that's when they see it.
That's around here. Yeah.
Because he takes her back, he rescues her, and then that scene happens where he's talking about the hatred of humans.
Yeah.
It happens right after she goes, well, what? Like, you're going to have sex with me? She's like, no one will have sex with me anymore because I have my horrible STD tiger.
Yeah. I have a drug addiction and syphilis.
Tiger.
I mean, your drug-induced STD spectral assassin tiger is kind of a... Yeah, that's kind of a big deal, to be fair.
Do you curse on this podcast, by the way? Or...
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, because she's like, no one will fuck me. I have syphilis and drug addiction. And basically Wolf Guy's like, no, I will. Don't worry about
that bullet.
Wolf Guy, no!
Yeah, the Wolf Guy's just like, I don't care, whatever. Like, they start having, like, another sex scene, but then she kind of just stops midway through, like, nah, forget it. Like, she says something weird like that, too, where it's just like...
Yeah, she's like, I didn't want to actually,
Yeah, I just was feeling sorry for myself. You weren't supposed to actually do it.
Yeah, to be fair, she has a kind of a normal reaction to it where she's like, well, I mean, you have sex with me, but what I'm saying is I need somebody who would, like, love me and stay with me, not some weirdo who, when I say I have a weird syphilis psychic tiger, immediately goes, "I'd hit that." Like,
Yeah.
that's not what I was looking for, dude. Actually,
But to be fair, I mean, she phrased it like, no, like, well, no one will fuck me. Like, she says that, so I can see Wolf Guy being a little confused here, but, you know.
It's not even
Sure.
the worst fetish Wolf Guy has. That's the worst.
No,
part.
no, it's
Yeah.
not.
No,
Not
no,
by any stretch. Not by any
no.
stretch.
God. So at the same time, right before this, Wolf Guy picked up the. Oh yeah, we forgot about his friend that was abducted. Wolf Guy forgot about
This
his
is just
friend that
like
was
Wolf Guy
abducted,
did, yes.
and he died. And Wolf Guy's like, ah, crap! I can't
Yeah.
believe I forgot. Oops. And then
Yeah,
he
because
picks
his
up
friend was on a barrel with a noose around his neck during that whole fight.
Yeah.
And after the Spectral Tiger attack, everybody just kind of forgot about him, including us until now.
Yeah.
And then suddenly he's choking, and he's like, "Oh wait, oh yeah, I guess that I probably should have helped my friend that was dying."
And you might think we're kind of joking, but that really is like how it goes down. It's like really odd.
Yeah.
Yeah, he picks up the notebook from his buddy who's now dead, and he starts paging through it, and then he gets to a page that has a flashback in it. So he does a flashback where Mickey was going to get married to this politician's son who she loved because he had a lot of
Mhm.
money and she liked him a lot, or something.
So-
And
So you know, you want me
Yeah.
to attempt the kind of dance around or the
Yeah.
euphemistic? Okay.
yeah,
So Grindhouse has a lot of like, let's do sexual violence to like be hot. You know what I mean? For like a sex scene or you're supposed to
Mhm.
enjoy the audience,
Yeah.
which like obviously you won't. It doesn't age well. Blah blah blah. But it's basically that, and she wants revenge on the band. And you might think, oh, because they were involved in the sexual assault. It's like, well, they were involved, meaning they were playing like a soundtrack, like they were performing music during it, and it's like odd, like it doesn't fit. It's really weird why that's happening, but whatever. And it, you know, it's like one of those scenes you watch. It's like, this is uncomfortable. I don't really want to watch this, but why is there a fucking band here? So you know,
we
like,
get a
it's-
live band for it. It's fucking weird. I don't.
it's so odd. So
One of the Yakuza
anyway,
members was just like, "All right, so who's got the catering for this?"
it's like, yeah, it's not. And then
We've got a midnight buffet. Before that, I'm gonna have like a pizza served at
The
5.
whole thing is
We'll
just
have wine
bizarre.
at 7.
It makes
Band's gonna
no
show up at
sense.
8. Like,
I didn't even think the Yakuza would be like, Sue, did you like order a band? What the hell's wrong with you? And he's like, I thought it was like, no, it's not like a part. Like, get out of here. You're out of the
not an
Yakuza.
appropriate time. Yeah, not a good
Well,
time for this. Actually.
I mean, we already paid him, and then they're like, fuck
Yeah,
it.
it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's weird. I mean,
It's
that's putting
super
it
weird.
lightly. It's weird. It's messed up, but
But anyway, that shows the motivations for Mickey and why
Yeah.
she wants to take out the band. It's like, okay,
Sure.
right.
whatever. So it cuts back to present time, and Wolf Guy's hiding behind a door so he can watch the room where Mickey's in as an assassin comes in with a gun to take her out. So Wolf Guy does what Wolf Guy does, and he takes out a pen from his pocket, and we think he's gonna like stab the guy, right? Like that would make the most sense. He's gonna stab him with a pen.
Oh,
After
I
doing a
thought
full
something
somersault.
different.
What did you think?
Well,
He's
my
gonna throw it?
assumption. Yeah, I mean,
Oh wait,
he's been
yeah.
whipping coins at people like he can fire them off like gunshots or something and get them.
Yeah, so
And-
you think like a kunai, like another like a MacGyver kunai, right? Like he just
Something like that.
throw
Yeah.
the pen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah. Nah,
No, it's
No.
way
Wolf.
stupider though. It's way stupider. Yeah, because he does like a little flip, rolls around on the floor, and then like as the guy pulls his revolver on him, he shoves the pen down the revolver. He's like, "Ha! You can't
That-
shoot your gun now."
The barrel, mind you, like a cartoon,
Yeah,
not like
yeah, the
not like
barrel,
some
yeah.
funny thing with the slide or the cylinder or something. Like just like, hey, can't fire a gun if something's blocking the barrel, right?
Yeah, and like so, Wolf Guy has the magic power of
Everything.
werewolf
Yeah.
venom
Wolves.
that
yes.
that allows him to throw coins
Wolves
and
and
use
guys.
pens.
Yeah.
And this assassin also has a superpower, so he pulls out a mouse from his pocket. He's like,
Fuck,
pocket
I forgot about
mouse.
the distraction
And then
mouse.
yeah,
He's
real live mouse,
and
basically.
he just throws a mouse on the ground. He's like, pocket mouse. And Wolf Guy's like, did you just throw a fucking mouse? And it works. He distracts him.
Yeah.
He is a wolf.
Just long enough so the assassin could tie a rope around him and try to choke him.
Ah, the pen is mightier than the gun.
Ah.
You did a little... What the...
See?
No, wait.
I'll admit, not what I was expecting him to do with the pen.
I thought he was going to stab the guy or something. What the... A mouse!
Huh? What does that have to...
Oh shit, he got him with the
Wolf's
mouse!
weakness, he knows he's a wolf guy. Wolf one.
He got him with the mouse!
Distraction.
He's like, they all like little psychic sub-powers. Like, Wolf Guy's like, I can do random shit with things in my pockets, and... like...
This guy's... Okay, we've got Wolf Guy and Mouse Man. Now, there you go.
Then what happens is then the government comes in?
Yes,
he's on the ground.
I love that
He's on the ground.
quietly
and then-
drop. Then the government comes in. Yeah, no, yeah. Then the Japanese CIA, and I'm not.
The CIA shows up.
It's literally the JCIA is what the acronym for the department, because they show it. It's the government shows up and kills the assassin, and then captures him and Miki. And now we're into the next movie.
Yeah, it cuts to another movie, but before that, we also find out that on the 15th lunar cycle day of every month, he gains super werewolf powers, and it's the 8th day, so he has a week until he gains werewolf powers.
I was like, they show like 8th day of the lunar cycle with like a crescent moon, and I even asked as we were watching, I was like, was I not paying attention? Like, was that a thing before? And no, like
They just
you know what I mean?
introduced
Like,
it now, yeah.
yeah, I'm like, oh, I thought like, wouldn't you start the movie with like first day of the lunar cycle and there's no moon? Like that seems obvious, but nope. Wolf guys,
They only had 80 minutes to cram this much information, and you can't expect them to get everything.
seriously.
So the CIA has Mickey, and they put her in a white padded room to, like, I guess, monitor her and try to get more information about her psychic STD tiger, I guess. And they bring in Manabe, who is the guy that planned the whole thing with the band and the assault. And they're like, hey, this is the guy that did all that. You should kill him with your psychic tiger powers.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And she does. And they're like, yep, she's a psychic tiger. All right. Syphilis does that. Let's take some notes, We've learned a thing here.
Listen, it's not syphilis that's doing it. It's the worst STD, the hatred of humanity.
Hatred of humanity.
That's fair.
So then they turn her into an assassin by getting her full of drugs and using her psychic tiger powers to assassinate, like, political opponents for the Japanese CIA.
Hang on, though. That's like a guess I think we made, right? They don't ever explicitly say, like, we're doing this by giving her drugs or anything. They just say, like, well, she's a perfect killing robot, and they just kind of leave it at that.
They didn't actually say they gave her drugs, but, like,
we're
had
just
to get drugs
in blanks.
before to do it, so...
It's like,
I don't know.
I still feel like you need to call that out exactly, because Wolf Guy's a confusing movie in general, and, whatever, but...
Oh, yeah, no, it doesn't explain any of this. We're filling in a lot of blanks just by... With hope and dreams, honestly. Like, I hope that that's what they meant by it, because it doesn't make any sense otherwise. It doesn't make any sense anyways.
Yeah. But... now that the Patriots have a killer that can use a psychic tiger to kill people and also register which controller is plugged into your PlayStation and make it vibrate.
Now, how do they? Now, what backstory for Wolf Guy are they going to get him on their side and become a killer? Well, the surgery.
Yeah.
So there's the assassin.
They go to Wolf Guy. Yeah, they go to Wolf Guy and they're like, "Hey, will you be an assassin for us?" He's like, no, I'm good."
Yeah.
All right. We'll just torture you then, or whatever, I guess.
And they start like cutting him open, and it's like, so I guess they're taking like some kind of like fake, like flesh and like slicing off like a fake, like, latex covering of it, but then like they put this like filter on the camera so it's all like blue, you know,
Mhm.
and it's like hard to see what's going on. Oh, and then Lao Gui gets a
Filmmaker.
blood transfusion from him. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep. Yeah, there's another CIA operative that was in the previous scene randomly,
yeah.
who they give a blood transfusion from Wolf Guy, and they're like, "Ha! Now he is also a Wolf Guy."
Anyway,
guess.
yeah, just move on.
I don't know what their plan was, but okay. And then suddenly it's the 15th day of the lunar cycle. It's been a whole week since Wolf
Yeah.
Guy got abducted by the CIA.
And now he's like all powerful, and then I don't know what the hell this is supposed to be, because he's strapped to like a table in his cell or his bed, I guess, because then like all of a sudden he just starts willing organs back into his body. I really don't know how to describe what's happening other than that.
They played like reverse footage of removing them.
Yeah.
And so it looks like it's going back in. I guess it's like a healing factor, like a Wolverine type of healing factor or something.
Yeah, but you're also like, wait, I didn't know they removed organs. They just showed them like kind of cutting them a lot. But I don't know. Like, yeah, it's bad. It's weird.
Which also leads to the question of, okay, well, if he wasn't healing before this, how long ago did they do this? Because you can't just really leave a person with all of their organs outside of them for a long time and just leave them there and have them be okay. So,
I mean,
yeah, but to be fair, he's an animal, both in bed and also he's Wolf Guy. So, you know.
God, anyways, so he breaks off the master lock padlock that they have him chained to this bed with. I don't know if you noticed that. He has a little padlock on his chain.
Did they use a master lock? Oh
yeah,
my
there's
God.
like a little bronze padlock. It's very, very flimsy. And he breaks his chains and escapes into the hall. He keeps bending all these bars. And they have quite a government facility, actually. He starts going across the monkey bars to get across the chasm that they have in the hall that opens up. But then the monkey bars are electrified. So
there's an electrified monkey bar over a pit that opens up in their hallway for some reason.
And that drops him into the ninja pit, where all of the government agents fly out of like dumbwaiters in the walls to attack him.
This is
but
like
they decided that's not enough
shit or something.
So they just
great.
They just gas everybody.
Yeah, it's
just all of them.
It's completely, because all these ninjas are fighting them, and it's like they're doing their bad martial arts, and then the person who's got the poison gas switch jumps the gun, and it's like, screw it, let's do poison gas, but all the ninjas start choking too, and Wolf Guy's just holding his breath, so it's like, ooh, somebody's in trouble. Like,
whoop. Needed some better coordination on that. The monkey bars and the chasm and the ninjas worked great, but we got to get the timing of the poison gas down, guys.
Yeah, and we find out, I think, that biker chick was the one who turned on the gas, because she shows up in a gas
yeah,
mask.
you're right.
That's you guessing, though. This is a guess again.
It's not,
this is very much a guess again.
And she saves Wolf Guy, and as they're running away, leaving the facility, she gets shot. And then Wolf Guy's like, no, Katie, who I knew the name of, and we definitely met and talked about.
And then she's like, didn't she tell him, like, I love you? And you're like, oh,
yes,
all right.
Yes. Yeah, no, she absolutely goes, I loved you.
And they have a whole romance in like 5 seconds, and then she dies.
He's like, I'm going to get you, JCIA, like, for this, I guess, you know.
And at that point, the guy that got the blood transfusion shows up. He's like, I'm also a werewolf now, and it's a full moon. We have the same powers. You're going down, Wolf Guy.
It's a short fight.
Well, and why is it a short fight? Please explain what happens to this guy that he loses.
Because they're fighting, and they make a noise like his neck broke, so I was like, oh, did Wolf Guy break his neck? But he's like, oh, you got poisoned from injecting wolf blood into a human. Like,
Wolf Guy doesn't even do anything.
No, he doesn't. And then he even like kind of laments, like, I guess you can never like mix with a human after all. And it's like, wait, you're sad about that? Like, what are you talking about, Wolf Guy?
Oh, okay. I guess Wolf Guy didn't do anything. Oh.
Sepsis and syphilis, the Wolf Guy story.
What?
Is that supposed to be like poignant? Like, I can never find love, thinks Wolf Guy. Like, I can never give blood now.
Yeah.
What?
Oh man, my dream of giving lots and lots of blood throughout my life is ruined. I wanted to go back really quickly to one thing that you said, because you said, oh, well, now he's got a reason for, like, revenge on the government and stuff. But does he? Because he decides to just fuck off and leave everyone.
Yeah,
he immediately says,
Even
he's like,
incredible.
well, Miki's curse will probably just kill her, and I've escaped, so...
Not my problem. Yeah, I don't have to deal with this
Basically
shit.
washes his hands and walks away.
And then this is like the third movie.
I
They
was
just
going
go
to
to
say,
another
movie 3 starts now.
Yeah, they go to another movie. You're like, all right, well, anyway, I'm wandering the woods because I'm not dealing with that Mickey shit. Spectral tiger?
Yeah.
Ugh.
And he's saying it like the movie's gonna end, where you're kind of. I was thinking like, oh, okay, like this is like their way of just kind of wrapping things up, where it's like, well, I'm sure, like, you know what I mean, like they forgot to do the plot thread,
Yeah.
but no, because then like he's out in the forest, and then just these guys start fighting him.
Yeah, I 100% expected credits at that point. Like, I thought that was over.
Like, all the villagers from Gymkata show up.
And can
And they're
I
expecting-
just jump in and say, had the credits shown up, oh man, would we be in a better spot?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
Anyhow.
to be fair, throughout this entire movie, if you put credits, anywhere that you put credits earlier would be better. So, like, there's no 5 minutes in, you could end the movie there and it would be better than the rest. So, there you go. There's no point where that's not true.
Yeah, so, like, random villagers from Gymkata show up, and they're like, oh, Wolf Guy, he's going to do gymnastics, but we planned ahead. And we're going to get you because they put out, like, the Japanese CIA, I think, put out a reward, is what they're implying. Because they're like, we're going to bring you back to Tokyo and get so much money.
Yeah, but
No,
They
there's-
say they're going to bring them to Tokyo and get money. So there has to be a
Yes.
reward,
This
right?
isn't
Yep.
like somebody who's out this far, like, must, you know what I mean? Like, it's like one of those
Yes.
things, like, well, if
Yep.
you're here, you got to be worth something, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what they say. Yeah, Slowbeef
It's
has it
just-
exactly.
They
don't even-
assume?
Yes. Yeah, they go, well, he's out here all alone and he looks shifty. There's probably a reward for him somewhere. That's what they say. That's
Yeah,
literally
it's
their reasoning. Yes.
It's real.
Oh
It's
my
real weird.
god. That's even worse than I thought.
But this is the best thing. I love how prepared these villagers are because, like you were saying, they all surround him. There's probably 20 people, all with guns, pointed at his face. And you're like, uh-oh, how's Wolf Guy going to get out of this one? And he does a gigantic 10-foot leap over their heads, like a big spinning jump. And you're like, oh, he's getting away. And he lands directly in a net trap that they had behind
like-
them because they were...
It's a tiny net, too. It's not even a big net. It's just a tiny
Yeah,
net.
it's like perfectly Wolf Guy sized. It's just
Mhm.
like some serious, like, Grand Admiral Thrawn planning. Just like, I knew you would be jumping back exactly how, and then boom. Whew.
All right, so we'll surround the guy, and then he's going to jump 10 feet in the air behind us and land on this net. And it's like, Jerry, shut up. And it's like, can I put out the net at least? Fine, Jerry, whatever makes you happy. And then afterwards, he's like, hey, look at me. Look who was right. Who's going to say it? Jerry was right. You all need to listen to Jerry more.
You know, the other villager's like, what? Is he some sort of wolf guy? He's gonna jump, idiot. Oh my god.
Holy shit,
anyway,
Jerry was right.
They capture him and take him back to their forest hideout. And some gung-ho
If you-
lady shows up.
This is your last warning, ladies and gentlemen. If you value your sanity, you can leave the podcast now and pretend Wolf Guy ended where we said it did, or he died, and that's that. Anyway,
It gets so bad. It gets so bad. So this lady shows up and saves him by like
Taka,
shooting a bunch of
right.
the villagers, and her name's Taka, and she runs away with him to a cave, and he got shot in the leg, so he's like, "Oh, I'm bleeding, I'm dying," and she's like, "Oh, you're dying? That's so hot." and she just strips in front of him. He's like, "Well, it's that kind of movie." And,
Yeah.
I guess. And then Wolf Guy is like, "Well, I guess we're doing this. Your name's Taka, huh? That's weird. That was my mom's name."
Yeah, I realized it was that kind of movie where every woman that he meets is going to get naked, but I also didn't realize that it was that kind of movie because now we get the other shoe dropping.
Yeah, like like, if you're in that situation, you're like, that's my mom's name. That's a moment where the other party should be like, hold on, buddy. Let's stop. This is fucking weird.
Or
But
don't
no,
say
she
it
goes,
now when you're
yeah,
about
not
to, you know,
now.
like
But she's like, oh, that's what a coincidence. I was named after your mother because when the village died, I also survived or
we
something.
were part of the Inugami clan, which is like
Yeah.
Wolf God, and I
His
survived. Yeah, I
werewolf
survived
clan,
too.
yeah.
Your mother named me after herself, which is like, oh, that's creepy. Okay.
Yeah, that's weird. And then
And
Wolf
then
Guy's
it
like,
hammers it
ugh.
home by having flashbacks of as she's getting naked and then she shoves her chest into him. It
And he-
flashes back to him breastfeeding with his
'Cause-
mom.
He starts sucking a tit, and I was
Yeah.
like, this is weird and symbolic. And then Wolf Guy's like, no, it's not symbolic, it's direct. Because then,
Yeah.
No, it's literal. Yeah.
yeah,
I know
No.
writers that use subtext and they're all cowards.
Yeah, he's
This
like,
is
"Oh, don't-"
absolutely. We're not subtexting the incest here at all.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
this is. This
don't
is
worry,
direct.
viewers. This isn't what you think it is. She is the incarnation of my mother, which means she's really my mother now. So we're gonna
He
do
just
this.
straight up says that. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
what
really
the
my mother.
fuck?
It's like,
what the fuck?
God, Wolf Guy, what the hell?
So it does a whole fucking scene. I'm not gonna fuck. And then,
Yeah, he calls her my wife and my mom. He says that exactly at one point.
Wife, mom. It was
Yeah.
a joke once about the Quiet Man, but now
Yeah,
Wolf Guy has
yeah.
made it real.
yeah. So then they just leave afterwards, and they're running around the forest again. We're like, okay, the movie's gonna finally fucking end. They just had to get one more really gross scene in there. Because the director really wanted that scene, obviously. And then, like, a Jeep starts driving up, and it's the other movie, the first movie. It's just driving up into the scene.
Yeah.
It's like a Monty Python sketch from Holy Grail where it's like the police
Yeah.
have been going throughout the movie and you're like, oh, this is just a weird joke that's not going to lead anywhere. And then all of a sudden, boom, they do smash into each other right at the end.
And then, yeah, because it's them, and they brought Mickey, who he just abandoned. But she's not mad at that. She's like, you already found another woman. And, she doesn't even know the worst part, but,
Oh, yeah.
like, oh.
Yeah, and also, like, two of the evil CIA guys are there driving her up, and then they park. Wolf Guy stands next to the road, and he's like, oh, we gotta do, like, one last final fight. And they're like, all right, Mickey, he's with another girl. He didn't wait for you. He went for this other girl who I know nothing about, and I will never mention.
You know how weird it is to bring your ex around to the parents?
Yeah. Yeah. And then she like starts to do spectral tiger shit, and the tiger superimposes again, but her chest blows outward with gore and blood, and then Wolf Guy's like, wow, I guess a grudge really can kill people. And somebody watching this movie in the audience was like, the grudge? Oh, fuck, I gotta write shit down. I gotta write down notes
I can
quick.
turn this dross into gold.
Right?
Oh, God.
And
And it turns out that it's Taka, right?
That's
Yeah,
that's-
Taka.
That's her name, yeah.
Shot her in the heart, but at the same time, the Phantom Tiger also maybe kills,
Taka,
seriously injures
yeah.
at least Taka, and then Wolf Guy throws the last two guys. He chases them, and they fly off of a cliff with their
Right.
blowing up.
Because
and
they drive off
die.
and he chases on foot, which is
Yeah.
important. And he kills one of the CIA guys in the Jeep, and he's kind of harassing the other one and attacking him. And then he jumps off as that Jeep goes over a cliff. They have a cool scene where the Jeep actually does kind of explode into flame, but it does it too early, mid-jump.
Mhm.
Yeah, they have a stock footage thing earlier. One of the guys falls off a cliff too. It's just like they
Yeah.
throw like a
that one
mannequin
was
or something.
really
It's pretty
funny. Yeah, that one's good. But they blow up this Jeep. They really blow up a Jeep. Like,
Yeah.
it's a good effect. It looks good. It just went off too early.
Yeah.
Sure. Speaking of weird transitions, I just want to go back just a moment because when we said that the government showed up and the Jeep pulls up,
Yeah.
I want to make it clear that it doesn't quite transition from that. It transitions from them having sex to immediately showing stock footage of like a mountain getting like there's a landslide, like a controlled landslide from
Oh yeah,
explosions.
something
Like, it just
exploded the mountainside. Yeah.
yeah, just hard cuts to a bunch of explosions on the mountainside, and you're like, wait, what? And then it's just them running away from explosions, and then the Jeep pulls up, and it's like, oh, the government's here.
Yeah, the government
Okay.
was blowing up the mountain or whatever. I don't. But
Yeah.
so Wolf Guy picks up his mom wife and starts climbing the mountain with a gun, and then he turns towards the camera and throws the gun off, and then that's it. That's all we got. That's the end of the movie. Then we're done.
Finally, we're done.
It's over. What happened? It just thens us right out of nowhere. Like, we're done now. We're out of footage.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us on your trial by fire here, Slowbeef.
So Urchin got to watch Garfield too.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was worse. It was worse for Urchin.
Garfield 2 was way worse.
Urchin got the worst end of it. Gonna be
This
honest.
is a wild grindhouse movie. It's trying to do so many things, and there's some real gross stuff in this movie.
It's so weird.
I like the spectral tiger aspect. I don't know if I like tying it to an STD for some reason.
I can't believe too when they were like, it's worse than she gave me something worse than syphilis. I hate
Yeah, like
humanity.
what?
How dare
like,
you, sir?
The Yakuza stuff is interesting, but it like cuts around too quickly. It felt like they should have focused on one movie and just cut out everything that happened after like the CIA.
They should have maybe cut out the incest subplot. I think that would have made the movie more boring, but a lot better, just by objectively.
A lot better.
Yeah. Like all art is subjective. Not this. This is objectively better without that part of it.
That whole hatred of humanity, though, is like a classic film, 'Twas beauty that killed the beast. 'Twas hatred of humanity that was the real STD. It's
'twas
cinematic.
That killed the tiger, I guess. But
no, was that made
was
the
it
tiger.
A bullet? Was it a bullet that killed the tiger, or?
Yes. Let's put a bullet in this movie and let's rate the dogs.
Yeah, there was one dog. Yeah, so at the end of every episode, we rate the dog. Wolf Guy is our dog in this movie, I guess. I don't remember seeing any other dog. Although there were a lot of animal people.
Because there's Blood Poison Guy. He's also a wolf guy.
Right. But there was
honorary
like tiger lady, mouse guy. There was a hyena.
He calls his friend a hyena. Yeah.
That guy though, we don't know if he's like I don't see what was wrong with Oedipus. Like that's Wolf Guy's got that going against him. You know what I mean?
True.
Now you're
true.
Like,
I think Wolf Guy is arguably worse than the guy that got the blood transfusion and then died of his own accord.
When you say arguably, like who's arguing there? Like, because I'm all for no, that guy's better.
Yeah, I think I would give Wolf Guy like a pretty low 6 out of 10. He does some cool tricks with coins and like a pen, but everything else sucks. And he doesn't actually do anything in this movie. Everybody else does something, or something just happens, and then he just fucks off somewhere else.
Yeah, I'll give him a 4. I think. No wolf.
I feel...
Huh? Yeah.
I don't know. We just thematically with all of what was happening there. I mean, do we have to go to the rating of 100 so we can get to the 69, or are we not going there?
No. The other wolf guy though, that's a good dog right there.
Yeah,
that's a good dog.
Yeah, he listens to his owners.
Fights wolf guy, jumps around. He
tried to save us from the rest of the movie by killing Wolf Guy.
Yeah,
that's like an 11 out of 10 dog right there. I like that dog.
Yeah. I'll give him. He reminded me of Lao Gui from Yakuza 0. So I'll give him like a.
He's very Lao Gui. Yeah.
I'll give him an 8.5 out of 10.
He's got really nice coat of fur. They give him some real wild eyebrows and hair. He gets like. He kind of gets all Super Saiyan when he gets wolf transfused for some reason.
He's got like a long mustache and wild hair. He looks more like a vampire than a werewolf, really, but it's interesting. I should point out the director has never seen a werewolf before making this movie, and it shows because there's no werewolf tropes at all.
No.
Oh man.
Well, I
yeah.
mean, I've seen. Wait a minute. I've seen Howling 2 with you. It was Howling 2 that had. Oh God, what's his name?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
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 And that seems like it follows perfectly with this. They have the weird fur orgy in that one too. So I don't know. Maybe
Howling 2, My Sister's a Werewolf, has like a biker gang that has weird hair orgies with the guy who is like the prisoner who escapes in Pee-wee's Big Adventure. So
yeah, it seems like he's delving into a deep tradition of werewolves having some really, really weird sex.
But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, everybody, or listening, I should say. You can catch us on
do
Twitter
not watch. Don't
at
watch
Rough Cuts
this
Cast.
movie.
You can also check out our Patreon. Email us at roughcutscast@gmail.com. Thank you again for being here, Slowbeef. Much appreciated.
Thanks for having me.
If you have anything you want to plug, this is a good point. I know you're working on a game. You have a podcast. Anything else you want to plug?
So you can find me at like twitch.tv/Slowbeef, YouTube, Slowbeef, whatever. I do have a video game coming out October 13th, 2022. I hope we're on track still. So I think that's a solid date. It's called Atama. If you like Junji Ito's Hanging Balloons and Forbidden Sirens like Sightjack mechanics, it kind of marries those two concepts. So you can look through the eyes of giant heads trying to kill you, and stealth horror, all that fun stuff.
Oh hell
so
yeah.
I hope you like it. And then I'm on a podcast called The Great and Terrible Oz, as in American Horror Story, with Ty Tuesday and Miss Shadow Lovely. So yeah. So listen. So once you've done the whole Rough Cuts backlog, you have a couple of things you can check out too if you feel like it while you're waiting for the next episode.
It'll be easy to get through our 116 bad dog movies that we've done prior to this.
The list keeps growing. I don't know what's happening.
The worst part, I was going to say, the worst part is that you have that like whiteboard on there and you haven't taken anything off of it without putting in like 2 movies
I always
on.
add 3 more, yeah.
Yeah, it's a living hydra.
But anyway, thanks for listening, everybody. We'll catch you next time. See ya.
Yep. But that's the end of the story? Is that... Just wrap that up quick.
Well, we're done?
I'm thinking they're just going to throw credits, yeah. It was all so horrible and
Yep. It's so great when they just sum it up like that.
Wolf guy left? Just went home?
Hey, shit sucks. Hit the bricks.
The wolf guy story.
Fair enough.